What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Chris and Justin Show. We have a pretty important thing that we want to talk about today. It's really more so on Chris's end, something that he had happen to him in the past couple days. So I'm going to let him go ahead and get on into that.
Right. So I picked my sister up from cheerleading practice the other day, and we just started talking about school and stuff, and she told me that her history teacher doesn't stand up for the pledge in the morning. But not only that, she was only one of 4 students to stand up for the pledge. So I don't really know if that's happening in public school systems currently, or if it's just in our local high school, or I don't know. I mean, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know if it has something to do with... I don't even think that it's out of... You have several players in the NFL now and other sports too.
Right.
Protesting the national anthem. Well, protesting... They're taking a knee just to kind of voice their opinion.
Right.
No, I wouldn't necessarily call it a protest at this point.
No,
I guess
they are protesting it.
They are in a sense, but they're not causing a huge stir up.
Right.
It's kind of died down over the initial shock of it happening.
For sure.
But I don't even think these kids are sitting down during the pledge out of protest. I think that they're just doing it because they don't care.
Right, exactly.
And
that's kind of alarming. And so, one of the other things that you said was that not only did the teacher not stand up, but he was talking to the other students that didn't stand up during the pledge. So the people that were pledging couldn't barely even hear the pledge over the intercom because they were all talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, and that's
which
the
to
issue.
me it's like blatant disrespect is what it is.
It is, and it is disrespectful to people that do stand and people that do care. But it's like these people, they don't even realize that they're being disrespectful, and they don't even realize that they're doing something out of disrespect, because honestly, it's become a problem in probably the past 5 or 10 years to where people, they just don't care anymore. And
right,
it's like now it has become the cool thing to do to not care.
Exactly.
And there used to be a sense of pride, and everyone was proud of where they come from. And I know it sounds cheesy now, and it's a problem that it sounds cheesy now, but proud to be an American.
No, seriously, America's pride is crushed.
And because people just don't care. Rather than voicing your opinion and trying to make a difference for like issues that you believe need to be fixed, people would rather just not do anything so that they have something to complain about.
Yeah.
So that, like if they put in the work to actually do something and fix something or make something better, or leave their school, leave their work, leave their household a better place than it was before they were there.
Yeah.
Rather than doing that, because if they did that, then that would be uncool of them because they care so much.
Right.
Why are you such a tryhard?
You need to chill, dude.
Instead of doing that, they would rather just do nothing, and so they have something to complain about. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I know that's where this all started.
Yeah,
but
it started here. But seriously, I mean, it doesn't. I don't know.
As a history teacher, like that's one thing that, and I didn't even know that. He's told me the story before, but I didn't even know that until just now that it was a history teacher.
Yeah,
like that honestly makes me more upset, the fact that it's a history teacher, because like you're supposed to, like, of anybody, I feel like history teachers should have the most pride and the most respect for what our founding fathers went through.
You would think.
Because as a history teacher in higher education, the struggle of what it was like for these men to leave where they were from and go out and build a new nation on their beliefs and on what they wanted, and not sit around anymore and complain, but to actually be proactive and do something. You understand that because you're a history teacher, and you're just gonna sit aside and do nothing. Like that frustrates me more than anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know. And then you had
it would be one thing if he wasn't talking to all the other students. If he just sat there quietly while the pledge was going on, okay, I get it. You don't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. That makes sense. But talking to other students, and then on top of that, he would sit and talk to the same students through the moment of silence.
Yeah.
Which, it's just like...
And the moment of silence isn't even anything, that's not even,
I mean,
not
that's just a time for
pledge,
you,
Sitting for the pledge, if you want to sit out of protest, or whatever reason you're sitting, whether you're just too lazy to stand up, if you want to do that, then do that. But you know what? The moment of silence at the beginning of each day in schools now is each individual person's time before their day starts to either, one, honor men and women who have fallen
Right.
for your country, to give you the right to sit in a school that's free, education that's free, that everybody else on the planet, well, not everybody, but the vast majority of people on the planet don't even have that at their fingertips.
They don't have access to it.
So, one, you're showing thanks for that. Two, it's a time for you to sit there, and if you pray, then that's a time for you to pray about your day. It's just a time for you to sit there, reflect on yourself, reflect in what you believe in, reflect in your morals, and for that brief 5 to 10 seconds before your day starts, like, that's your time. And I understand that if you don't want to respect that because you may believe a certain way or feel a certain way about something, then do that. But don't you talking is interrupting other people's time to do that.
Absolutely. And it's more, the moment of silence is more of a, at least I think, the teacher's like, oh, I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm the teacher. Not even, and he doesn't.
And they're setting
no
an
regard.
example. And
No regard.
they're supposed
Exactly.
to be setting an example.
Exactly.
And kids, especially, how old is Julia?
She's 16.
So 16. Kids
Yeah, so
13 to
she's a-
16.
she's
I
a
mean,
junior.
even kids 13 to 18 are molded by what they see, the examples they see before them. And
Right.
if they see a teacher doing that, I mean,
Right. Exactly.
as a teacher, one, regardless of how you feel about anything, you're supposed to be unbiased. You're supposed to teach the material, do your job, so
Yeah.
these kids can formulate their own opinions.
Right.
Because if you don't allow the kids to formulate their own opinions, what you're doing is you're making little robots, and they're just gonna march in there, and everything's gonna be the same for
Yeah.
generations and generations and generations to come.
Right. I guess just to wrap up, we talked about just standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance in public schools. So let us know about what your viewpoint is. We want to know if you stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and why. Don't just say, oh, I don't stand up for it. Tell us why you do. All right, guys. Thanks.
All right, have fun, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe,
Yep,
all that good stuff.
all the above.
And see you guys soon. Roll Tide.